while I'm thanking people, probably the most important to thank is our host for today, Microsoft. Microsoft BizSpark has been a big supporter of entrepreneurs all over the world, and for better or for worse, a huge supporter of Steve Blank's and my work in many countries around the world. And I go back just about 20 years with Steve, when his last startup, Epiphany, had 8 or 9 employees, and my last startup, Marketing One-to-One, had about 14. He tried to hire us to help do customer development for his data mining and personalization software, enterprise software tool set. And we wound up working quite closely together on the project, mostly because he threw all my other people out of his office as incompetent morons, and I was the last incompetent moron standing. And about 4 years ago, he called me and said, "I need you again." As I hope many of you know, Steve wrote his first book about customer development back in 2003, called 4 Steps to the Epiphany, which sort of outlined the theory of customer development and why it's so important. And he spent the next 6 or 7 years refining the methodology, testing it in real-world corporations, teaching it, and sort of experimenting with it. And then it was time to not just talk about what it is and the theory, but how do you actually do it? And having written one of those sort of business method books before, for whatever reason, I was the sort of obvious candidate to sort of help write the Startup Owner's Manual, and was basically 2 years of non-stop torture, because every discussion of every step in the process was an argument between 2 passionate entrepreneurs, both of whom are certain they are always right. And so we would argue sometimes for hours about what's the sequence of steps you would do to, launch a web commerce business or whatever. And my sort of, we're going the wrong way. Yeah. My sort of credential for this, since startups are, as we know, so much about the numbers, at the age of 22, I left a magnificent job that actually paid almost $250,000 a year in today's dollars, because I wanted to be my own boss and start my own company. And so that was 42 years ago. Since then, I've done 7 startups, 2 home runs, 2 sort of base hits, 2 that did okay, and 3 DTT investments. That's direct to toilet.